Yeah, it seems like this would have been the perfect time to panic. We've got a dead UPS. Well, not dead, the batteries just don't hold a charge anymore, which kind of defeats the purpose of it being a UPS, and it's not going to be reliable anymore. So we took it out of production here, and we were going to replace the batteries, but then I thought, well, these are 12-volt batteries. I've got some 12-volt batteries in my garage that I think we might be able to hook up here. So while we might have a few parts left over after, and it might not quite fit inside, and we might have some wires sticking out here and there, I think we might be able to figure something out here. Let's give this a try. Batteries disconnected, it thinks. Okay. Unless the trolls disconnected them, the batteries are still connected. It's just that they're providing 0 volts, and so it's not even registering anything. So let's get in there, find out what we can see, and when we're done with this nonsense, we should see that there's some sort of percentage level of charge, and it should register that there's batteries connected. And then the other thing about this is, because these are actually quite a bit larger capacity batteries, they have a lot more amperage stored in them, we could conceivably also run computers for significantly longer than with just the default batteries that are in there. I suppose that's all theoretical, but it's stuff that we can run the preliminary numbers on. Now I will say that anybody who tries this at home can't hold me responsible for outcomes. Outcomes may vary. Okay, so this is how we normally disconnect the battery. That's the fancy control panel. That's the plugs. This is the battery keep-in plate. Ooh, look at that. Holy holy. Okay, so there's 4 cells in there, and you can see these are 12 volt 45 watt cells. Need my pliers. 1 battery. 2 batteries. Positive to negative. Oh, balls. So it's about this time that we need to pivot. All right, so what we discovered as we were pulling everything apart, as you might have noticed, is that yes, we have 12 volt batteries, but they're wired together, not in parallel where the input into here would be 12 volts, but they were all wired together in series, which means you add the voltages together. So it's 12, 24, 36, there's 48 volts going into here. So while we could hook up a 12 volt car battery into here and see what happens, the iffy part comes when this is not only powered by the connected battery, but also charges the connected battery. And while we could look it up and figure out exactly what the ramifications are, we kind of just don't feel comfortable throwing what's trying to charge a 48 volt power pack into a 12 volt car battery that might explode, and then we have a whole different episode on our hands.
Power at 400% capacity. How about that?
So, instead of doing that, we went and grabbed another one of the UPSs that we've got that's slated to go to electronic recyclers. But this one, instead of having 4 batteries inside, just has a single battery inside. We'll hook our car batteries up to the single 12 volt input on this UPS, and we should be able to have a functioning UPS again, and maybe a UPS that'll actually run a computer for a significantly longer time than this was ever designed to. We'll see. Out with the original plan, we'll set this up on the bench, and we'll get it all connected. Well, you know that point where you're in a project and you figure, at this point we should probably just pull the ripcord? We don't. As we like to say, in for a penny, in for a pound. Or keep throwing good money after bad. As it turns out, the battery that I pulled out of my garage is totally useless. After about a week of reconditioning, we're still only at about 10 volts. So that's not gonna work. Okay, no problem. We'll just, I guess, buy a new battery, you know, instead of the replacement battery. Let's hook up this thing and see what happens. That one goes on like this, like that. Okay, now we try doing that. Fire extinguishers over there. Ah, got our power on. Now we just gotta see if it keeps things running. Lamp on, and then we should be able to unplug it. And it still runs. Okay, so we're running a lamp off a UPS that's using a car battery. I'm not sure this is really earth-shattering discovery. So if you have a car battery in your garage that isn't completely dead, it might be an option to replace a failing UPS with that. Now, there's one interesting thing of note is that with this setup, we should be able to go significantly longer than the original battery that these things come with. I think we've about exhausted everything that could go wrong on this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Who stole my Oh, no, here it is. Electricity is heavy. Ugh. Electricity is dirty too. We need clean energy. See what I did there? Your results may vary drastically. We should be able to get... We'll see you next week. Nope, that didn't do it.